Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing the Ride or Die makeup tag. And this tag was created by Jaclyn Hill, and I think it's such a great idea because here on YouTube as makeup addicts, we're always talking about new products in every video and things that we're obsessed with and we love. And I love this eyeshadow, and I love this palette, and I love this mascara, and I love this primer. But I mean, there's so many to keep up with, and so in this video I'm going to be telling you guys what my actual legit favorites are, and at the end of the day, if I could only choose one product from each category, these are the products that I would choose. So I'm going to be going in order from like the way that I would apply them, so starting off with primer and ending off with eyes and all of that. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So the first product I'm going to talk about is my favorite primer of all time. And so no matter what, even if I often use multiple primers on my face, like I'll go in with a hydrating one first or a like illuminating primer or something like that, but no matter what, I always go in with a smoothing primer in my T-zone. I just feel like I can't go without that step in my makeup. And my absolute favorite, hands down one of all time to use for that is the Benefit POREfessional primer. I just love this stuff so much. I've repurchased it a couple of times and this tube is almost gone. I just think it does such a good job of minimizing your pores, smoothing over any textured areas, and your makeup goes on so smoothly over it, and it just makes your pores disappear, and it's amazing. And if I could only live with one primer for the rest of my life, this would definitely be it, hands down, no questions about it. So the next category is my all-time favorite Ride or Die foundation, and this one was actually really easy for me. If you would have asked me to do this like a month ago, I would have had such a hard time picking out my favorite foundation because I feel like I have different ones for different occasions and different like needs and different amount of coverage and different finishes that I like. And I honestly feel kind of weird talking about this one because it is really new in general and new to me, and I just started using it. But honestly, ever since I picked it up, I cannot put it down. I'm so obsessed with this foundation, and this is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. This is hands down the best foundation I have ever used in my entire life. I am so in love with it. It's my holy grail, and I know it's kind of soon to say that because I've only been using it for about the past month. But honestly, every time since then that I've tried something else, like when this is a little bit too dark for me, so I go back to an old foundation that'll match me a little bit better, I'm just like, why was this ever my favorite? Because nothing even comes close to comparing to this. This is the most lightweight, natural looking foundation I've ever worn. It looks so good on the skin, but I feel like every other foundation that I've used that's like that just doesn't give me the coverage that I want. But for this, I can use one layer and be done, and it just looks like skin. Like, I'm so serious. If you don't have this foundation, go out and buy it. I really think it'll work well for all skin types. Maybe if you're super duper oily, it might not, but if you're super dry to combination skin or maybe a little bit oily, this will work great. It gives your skin such a healthy glow. It gives me just the right amount of coverage. It doesn't look cakey. It barely feels like I'm wearing anything on my skin. Hands down, best foundation I've ever used. I would honestly be totally okay if all my other foundations in my collection disappeared and this is the only other one I could use for the rest of my life. I wouldn't even cry about it. Next up is my all-time favorite concealer, and this one was actually also pretty easy, and this is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, and I love this stuff so much. It gives me really good coverage. It feels lightweight on the skin. It doesn't crease. It blends in so easily. It's just really great. This is my go-to concealer. Sometimes I do like to use other ones if I'm going for more heavier coverage or if I want a more photoshopped look, but this is just my all-time favorite everyday concealer. Not much to say about it. It's just great coverage, great formula. Also, a very good shade selection. You guys probably know I really like a concealer with a yellow undertone, and a lot of them are super duper pinky, and I don't really like that. This has a great shade selection, and I'm in the shade Light Warm, by the way, and it's a perfect highlighting shade for me. Obsessed. So the next category that Jaclyn had on the list was favorite face powder, like for setting your face. And to be completely honest, I don't have one. I honestly rarely ever set my face with powder just because I haven't found anything that I really like. I just hate the way it looks. I always feel like my skin just looks heavy and powdery every time I've set my entire face with a powder. And I also just don't feel like I need to. Like, I set areas like under my eyes, of course, and sometimes I set my T-zone, but I just never feel the need to set my entire face because my makeup doesn't really slip and slide around. I don't get oily. I don't feel like I need to, so I never really do. So for that category, I actually do not have one. If I could never use a face powder for the rest of my life, I would be okay with that. My next ride or die is my favorite under eye setting powder. And for this one, I was kind of on the fence between two because I am testing out a new one right now that I'm really, really liking. But I feel like it's a little too soon to call it my ride or die. So I'm going to stick with the Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. And I have pretty much used this in almost every tutorial that I've done here on my channel. And I just love this setting powder. I think it does such a good job of preventing creasing in my concealer. And when I use it, my under eye concealer lasts all day. It looks bright. I look awake. It doesn't move. It's just perfect. The only thing that I have that I could complain about in this powder is that it does give a little bit of a flash black in flash photography. So if you're going to be wearing this out at night to something where you're going to have your picture taken, just try to use a very small amount of it, or use something else. I don't really recommend it for flash photography, but other than that, it's really, really good. It's not too drying under the eyes. It doesn't allow any creasing. It's just perfect. And I am trying out the RCMA No Color Powder right now, and I'm really, really liking it, but I've only used it like a handful of times, so I just think it's a little too soon to say if I like it better or not yet, but just so you guys know, I do really like the RCMA No Color Powder as well. Next up is my ride or die blush, and you guys are gonna have to forgive me for this one because mine is shattered and I've just been too lazy to go get a new one because it's still usable. But this is my Revlon Naughty Nude blush, and I'm not gonna open it up because it's gonna fall everywhere. But I just think it's the perfect blush color. It's such a good everyday color. It's not too pink, it's not too brown, it's not too peachy. It's just the right color for me personally. I'm not into super pink or super peachy blushes. I like more nudie, mauve-y, kind of dustier kind of colors. I don't know. This is just the perfect one for me. It does have a teeny bit of shimmer in it, but it's not overpowering, it's not glittery, and the formula is really, really beautiful too with these Revlon blushes. They're not like overly pigmented where you look like boom, like a clown when you put them on, but they give you just the right amount of wash of color. And I do have this blush on my cheeks right now. I did mix it with Wild Honey blush by Becca, but I have this one on as well. And let me swatch it for you guys since I can't open it up. So here it is swatched on the back of my hand. And like I said, it's not super vibrant or intense or pigmented. It just gives you a really nice wash of color. But I think the camera is kind of picking up. Can you see? It kind of has a sheen to it. So it gives your skin a little bit of a healthy glow without being shimmery or sparkly. And it's just a really pretty pinky nude color, and it's gorgeous. I am in love with this blush, and this is honestly an easy one for me. Next category is my ride or die bronzer. And for this one, I was also kind of on the fence between two. And I kind of surprised myself with what I chose. But I'm going to have to go with the Hoola bronzer by Benefit because this is it's just my go-to bronzer. It's just so beautiful, and the formula is so blendable, which is one of the reasons why I love this so much. I mean, you can see I'm obsessed with it. I've hit major pan on it. It's just like the perfect undertone. It's the perfect amount of warmth, and I don't know, I just love it. But I was really, really on the fence between choosing this and my Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade 240 because you guys know I've been obsessed with that lately as like kind of like a transitional bronzer. So I put it on like before a darker bronzer just to help the darker bronzer blend in a little bit better, and it adds a really, really pretty warmth to my face. But I just feel like I had to choose this because I never use that bronzer by itself. I always use it in combination with another bronzer, so I just feel like it wasn't fair to choose that one. So I'm gonna have to go with the Benefit Hoola bronzer. Okay, my ride or die highlight. This one was pretty easy. I love highlighters, and I never wear just one. I mean, you guys always see me in my tutorials, I'll pack on like 3 different highlighters. But if I had to just live with one highlighter for the rest of my life, it would definitely be Champagne Pop by Becca and Jaclyn Hill. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful color and a beautiful formula. I have not used any other highlighter formula that applies so smoothly to the skin. I mean, highlighter is bound to emphasize your texture kind of no matter what. It's gonna make your skin look a little bit more textured than if you were just completely flat and matte. But this one definitely emphasizes texture the least. And the color, of course, I mean, like, hello, look at that. It's so freaking beautiful. It's got a beautiful, beautiful golden peachy undertone that looks good on so many different people and is amazing on the cheekbones. I've got it on here today on my cheekbones with a couple other highlighters as well, but this is the one that I've got on as like my main highlight today, and it just gives such a beautiful glow to the skin without being too shimmery or glittery. It just makes you look healthy and glowing, and it's just gorgeous. I mean, like, obviously you can see I'm like all the way hitting pan on this one. I've got 2 more backups, don't worry, but obsessed. All right, next I'm gonna talk about a product that wasn't in the original Ride or Die tag, but I feel like it just needs to be included, and that is my favorite brow product. And Anastasia Brow Wiz takes the cake for this one. I just feel like with brow products, I don't even experiment with that many different ones, just because I just know this works for me and I know it's always gonna work and look good and give me the brow that I want. It's just so good. It's got the pencil on one end, and I'm sure you guys are familiar with this product, and then the spoolie on the other end, and it stays on all day. It gives you a really natural looking brow, and it's just perfect. And I'm in the shade Soft Brown, by the way. That's the shade that I use, and I just feel like I could just live with this brow pencil and never even try anything else, and I'd be happy. I honestly rarely ever even venture off and use anything else on my brows. So next up is favorite mascara, and I'm gonna actually break this one down into 2 categories. I'm gonna do top lashes mascara and bottom lash mascara because I just feel like my needs for those 2 are completely different, so I can't just pick one. Just don't feel like it's fair to put them in the same category, so I'm breaking them into 2. So my favorite top lash mascara is the Tarte Tarteist mascara, and it's their newer one. They also have the Lights Camera Lashes mascara, which I wasn't crazy about, but I die for this one. And honestly, guys, I've always been the person to say, you don't need to go spend 20 bucks on mascara, just get CoverGirl, it works just fine. But once I tried this, I mean, it kind of changed my life. No mascara has ever worked so well for me. It just makes my lashes look so long and doesn't make them clumpy. This is the wand right here. It's beautiful. I just love it. And anytime I use anything else, I'm just not impressed because nothing really compares to this stuff. It is a little bit pricey, and I do think it's kind of ridiculous to spend $20 on mascaras, but I mean, once you go Tarte, you never go back. So for my bottom lash mascara, I'm sure if you guys are familiar with me and my channel, this will come as no surprise to you, but it is the L'Oreal Voluminous Butterfly Mascara. I think I have spoken about this mascara in literally every single one of my videos because that is how much I love it. I do not ever use anything else. This is just, it's perfection. And obviously it's inexpensive because it's L'Oreal. So I'm gonna show you guys a little trick with this because I've gotten my mom and some friends on this bandwagon too, and they weren't using it like the right way. There's no right way to use it, but the way that I like to use it that I think works the best. So as you can see with this wand here, it's like not symmetrical all the way around. So on the bottom side here, they've got like these longer little spikes. Let me get closer so you guys can see. So as you can see here, there's these little spikes at the bottom that are a little bit longer. So that's the side that you want to use to apply the mascara to your bottom lashes. So you just kind of wiggle it down using this end, and that's what really makes them so long and so separated. And literally it makes you look like you're wearing falsies on your bottom lashes. It's bomb, it's amazing. This is like the #1 recommended product that I think everybody needs in their life. Out of everything that I've talked about in today's video so far, this is something that, like, if you don't have it, I'm telling you to go buy it. And if you don't go buy it, like, just don't even, because you need it, okay? Just trust me, just try it. It will change your bottom lashes life. The next Ride or Die product I have for you guys is my Ride or Die lipstick. And honestly, I'm gonna have to say that this was the hardest category for me. I was looking through my lipstick collection and nothing was really jumping out to me. I was so close to just going with like a favorite Ride or Die lipstick formula and not picking one color because nothing was like jumping out at me and calling my name. But I decided on this one with reluctancy. So, I mean, Is this really my ride or die? Maybe, maybe not, but this is like the closest I could get to picking one lipstick. And of course I went with a nude, but this is the Sin-A-Mon lipstick, spelled like sin, you know, like a sinner. And this is by Maybelline, and this is in their regular lipstick formula. It's not one of their mattes or anything, or not one of their brights. It's just their regular lipstick formula, and it looks like this, and it's just a really pretty mauve brownie nude, which is right up my alley. And the formula is beautiful. It's nice and creamy, and it's just a great go-to color that pretty much goes with any look, which is why I had to choose it. And I just couldn't go with like a red or a bright, or I don't know. This is just the one that like I could wear every day and be okay with. Next up is my ride or die liquid lipstick, and this one was a lot easier. For this, I chose Kat Von D Bow and Arrow, which is another like mauve brownie nude, of course, because those are just my favorite colors to wear on my lips. But I love this formula so much, and I love, love, love this color. It's right here. It's a little bit darker than the Sin-A-Mon one, but it's like in the same color family. And this Kat Von D liquid lipstick formula, I really, really like. It's not the most long-wearing liquid lipstick formula that I've ever tried, but it's very, very comfortable on the lips. And to me, personally, that's more important than something that's gonna last all day. I'd rather reapply and have my lips be comfortable than have something that's gonna last all day but feel crusty and like it's sucking all the moisture out of my lips. I don't like that. It doesn't crust off. It's just beautiful, and it applies really, really easily. And this color, I die for it. The last lip product I have is my ride or die gloss, and for this I chose the Buxom lip polish, I think it's called. I don't know. Let's see. Full on lip polish in the shade Samantha, which is of course a nude. But I love this formula because it just makes your lips look so wet and luscious and poppin' and juicy and full, and I just, beautiful. And it gives your lips kind of a tingly, cooling feeling, which I really, really like. And I will do a little swatch of this guy for you guys as well. And my bottle is like almost out, so I'm gonna have to go in a couple times. But this is the color right here, if you can see. Just look at that shine. It's so gorgeous. It's just a really pretty pinky nude basic gloss, and it smells really good too. All right, ride or die lashes. For this one, I am going to go with my Ardell Demi Wispy lashes. And I was torn between these and the Samantha lashes by Huda Beauty, but I definitely had to go with these because I just feel like these are the lashes that are just always there for me. They're just always gonna have my back. If I just need to pop on something because I feel like I need a little bit of extra volume in my lashes, but I just don't know what to choose, I just feel like these guys are always gonna be it. They're really, really easy to work with. They're very natural, they're very wispy, and they just go with everything. They're just like your lashes, but better. They don't really look super dramatic or fake, which is something that I love about these. And I always use these on clients as well as myself. Clients tend to love these because a lot of people that aren't super into makeup aren't really comfortable with wearing anything that's super dramatic. And pretty much everybody is always comfortable with the way these look and just love the way it kind of opens up their eyes and adds a little something without adding too much drama, which is why I just love these. I really like the Samantha lashes when I want a little bit more drama. I know for some people those are a more natural lash, but I'm not a huge lash person, which is why I love those for a little bit more of a dramatic lash. But these are just the perfect everyday lash for me, and they're just go-to. They're always going to be there for me. They're inexpensive, easy to use, so definitely these. So for my ride or die eyeshadow palette, I gotta be honest, you guys, I'm kind of cheating on this one. I went through my entire palette drawer and looked at every single palette contemplating like, are you my favorite? Are you my favorite? But nothing jumped out at me. There was just nothing that stood out. And to be completely honest, I rarely ever use palettes. I use single eyeshadows basically every day. The only time I ever dip into eyeshadow palettes is really when I'm looking for like one color that I don't have in my singles collection. But I just find that my single eyeshadows just always have my back and they're always there for me. And there's really no eyeshadow palette in my collection that I feel like if I just had that and all my other eyeshadows disappeared, that I could be like okay with. I mean, obviously it would be a sad, sad day, but there's nothing that I could just be like, all right, I can live with just this and get, you know, all the looks that I might do on a daily basis. No, there's no palette that has everything that I'm looking for. So for this, I'm going to go with my own personal Z palette. I know it's cheating, but I couldn't pick out a palette or a single eyeshadow. I just couldn't do it. So I'm gonna have to go with this palette right here, which is I created with single eyeshadows and put into a Z palette. And this, like, okay, like come on. If anybody ever created an eyeshadow palette that looked like this, I would die a happy girl, because like so many, all these warm browns and like warm purples and mauves and neutrals and then a couple shimmers, and oh, this is life right here. So most of these eyeshadows are Makeup Geek and Anastasia eyeshadows. And this is basically what I use on my eyes every single day, and I can create so many looks just with what I have in this palette. I know I have a lot of similar toned shades in here, but like this is me in an eyeshadow palette. So let me know if you guys want a video of me talking about this palette and going through each color that's in here and what the name of it is and kind of describing it and why I like it. And I can do that for you guys. I do change it up every now and then. If I get some new shadows, I'll put them in here and then swap out some other ones. But like I feel like I've gotten this palette to a place where I like don't want to take anything out or add anything new. I'm just so happy with this. It's like the perfect range of neutrals and mattes and then a few shimmers that I love. This is just everything. So this is definitely my ride or die eyeshadow palette. I know it's kind of cheating, but I just couldn't talk about anything else but this. All right, so the last makeup item that I have is my ride or die setting spray. This is another really easy one because this is pretty much the only one that I ever use. And this is the Urban Decay Chill Makeup Setting Spray. This one is so good because it makes your makeup last all day and all night, and not only that, but it helps fuse the powder together with your skin, which is something that I definitely look for in a setting spray or a finishing spray. You know how sometimes like you'll put on your bronzer and your highlighter and your blush and kind of looks like it's sitting on top of your skin, but when you spray this on, and like give yourself a bath in this, by the way, don't be stingy with it, giving yourself a couple of spritzes. Go ham and go in with it. That's how it works best, but it just helps all your powders just like melts into your skin and makes it look like it's part of your skin instead of on your skin. If you have this, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you're probably like, but just trust me, it's so good. If you have more oily skin, you might not prefer this, but for dry to normal to combination skin, this is everything. Alrighty, so my very last category in this video is my ride or die perfume. This was another super duper easy one. I feel like so many of these categories were easy. There's a few that were like, oh, how can I choose just one? But a lot of the other ones I was just like, yep, that's it, know it. And for this one, I'm going with my Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue perfume. This one is like the definition of ride or die for me because this scent has been in my life for such a long time. My mom had this when I was younger, and I was just like in her closet one day, I don't know, like when I was like 8 or 9 or something, just like spraying her perfumes, like, And this one I was like, oh my God, I love this. And ever since then, I've had a bottle and I've been in love. It's just, how do I describe this? It's really fresh. It's really light. It's not too floral and it's not too like, I don't know, it just smells fresh. That's honestly the only way I can describe it. It's kind of floral and it's kind of citrusy, and I don't know, it's just such a good perfume. I've had a few that have come and go and I've like liked them for a while and then I'm over it and I don't like to wear it for a while, but this is the one that like I have never gotten sick of and I have never disliked, and ever since the first time I sprayed it, I have loved it. I can't say enough good things about this perfume. I just feel like so many people will like it. If you're looking for something that's not too strong and not overpowering and you're not gonna smell like an old lady or like a 12-year-old girl, this is it. This is just, it's the one. Let's spray some on right now because I'm not wearing any perfume. It's like a breath of fresh air. Citrus, delicious. So, 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 so good. Alright guys, so that wraps up my ride or die makeup tag. Thank you guys so, so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed hearing me talk about all of my favorite products. I really, really liked this video. It was really fun to film and just sit down and talk to you guys about all my favorite products, because I feel like I'm always talking about like a million different products in my videos, and there's always something new that I'm obsessed with. So it was just nice to kind of be like, all right, let's get real here for a second. These are my legit favorites. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you did like it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up on your way out, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I would really, really appreciate that. Also, don't forget you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. All three of those are Z_Sprucey, which I will link below for you guys as always, as well as all the products that I talked about today in today's video. So yeah, I think that is it. Have a wonderful day. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. And that's a wrap.